Today we're going to talk about the top 5 things you can do for your fertility diet to refine it and have it work better for you. Hi everyone, I am Mara Salerno, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner of ReclaimOptimalHealth.com, where I help couples just like you resolve their infertility and get back to creating those families you so deeply desire. Please come and follow me on Instagram. I am at Mara Salerno and I'm there at your disposal. So please come and connect with me there. And if you haven't already, click on the subscribe link button down below so that you get notifications every Friday when I post these videos. So I know lots of you are working on your fertility diet, maybe have been for some time. So I'm hoping that there's a nugget in here for all of you, wherever you are in the spectrum, all right? So number 1 is to go organic. If you have not gone organic with all of your food, except for maybe some of the dirty dozen, which honestly the EWG, the Environmental Working Group, sometimes their suggestions kind of irk me a little bit, to be completely honest. Like they'll put corn on there. Corn is so pesticide ridden and genetically modified food ridden. So you got to use your mind, use your common sense, and sometimes take it with a grain of salt. But try to go organic. Number 1, you'll be reducing your pesticide load, which we know wreaks havoc on your gut. Gut is important for egg quality. And again, it's an estrogen disruptor. So it's going to disrupt your estrogen levels, but also promote dirty estrogen in your body. And you don't need that. It wreaks havoc on your hormones, generally speaking. So go organic. Now, number 2 is to remove at least 2 of the top 5 inflammatory foods. Now, if you can do all 5, kudos to you, okay? But those top 5 inflammatory foods are dairy, sugar, corn, soy, and gluten. So you're gonna wanna remove at least 2 of those. Now, if you've already been doing that for at least 6 months, then it's probably time to look at some of the secondary inflammatory foods. So secondary inflammatory foods are going to be things like nightshades. So your tomatoes, your potatoes, your peppers, and the like. You might want to consider removing eggs, nuts, grains, and the like. So definitely considering some of those secondary inflammatory foods and removing them may really help to turn the switch on your fertility. Now, number 3 is to take a few moments in the evening to think about your food for the next day so that you can pull out any meat out of the freezer that you might need to, take a look at an inventory of the produce that you have in the fridge so you can have an idea of, what you're gonna like to make for the next day. And that way, when it's time to cook, everything's pretty much ready for you, sets you up for success, okay? So I highly recommend doing that and not right before you go to bed, because if you wait till then, you're gonna be too tired and you're not gonna wanna do it. So you should definitely do this while you're kind of like washing up from dinner dishes or, having your evening time in the kitchen before you go and like really relax so that you're done with it. It's done, you feel good about it, and you're ready for the day next day. Number 4 is preparing yourself some stock and or bone broth. So what's the difference? Stock is where you take like the whole chicken, for example. So the skin, the meat, the bones, you put in a stock pot, cover it all the way up with water, and then add a little bit of apple cider vinegar to it. So it helps to agitate and draw the nutrients into the liquid, bring it to a boil, then to a simmer, let it cook for 3 to 4 hours. Now, once that's done, that liquid in the pot is the stock. Okay, and that stock is really wonderful because it's got a really wonderful amino acid profile, and we know that amino acids are the building blocks of protein, and protein is the building blocks of life. Yes, the creation of your baby. So stock can be really wonderful, and it tends to be gentler on the gut. So if you have really severe gut issues and you're really sensitive to a lot of things, stock is a great place to start, but stock is also something wonderful for everyone to consume as long as your body responds well to it. Now, broth is when you would actually just have the bones. And those of you who have any histamine issues, again, have really, bad gut issues that you deal with on a daily basis, then you're gonna wanna really make sure that you remove all of the cartilage and the joints from like the chicken bones, let's say, for example, and make sure there's no skin on them. It's just all bone when you put it in the pot to make broth. And then, you'll cover it with water if you want to add veggies, spices, all that kind of stuff. And you want to let that cook ideally for 48 hours. So 2 full days on a really low simmer. And I have a recipe for this. I'll put it in the description box below for you all. But having a cup of stock and or bone broth every day will help to really seal up your gut and get you some really wonderful nutrients that are essential for your egg quality and your fertility. And for you guys, it helps to boost your sperm quality. Okay, number 5 is doing some due diligence on restaurants if you go out to eat. So a lot of times when people go out to eat and they're on the fertility diet, they just kind of, throw the bag in and do whatever. Now, if you're doing this once in a super blue moon, like once every few months, I don't personally think it's a big deal, but you don't want to be putting all of this toxic ingredients in your body. And you know how I think about it is I don't want to be paying a restaurant to be harming me, to be doing no good to me as far as my health is concerned. That's how I look at it. I want to pay somebody to uplift my health, right? So look for some organic restaurants or some health conscious restaurants that really try to utilize good ingredients. Now, some of them do a really good job of putting this information on their website because that's what they're about. They'll be like, we have an organic standard, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But local is not organic. Seasonal is not organic. Is organic perfect? No, but it's a much, much better than the status quo. Now, something that I always do is, unless the website is super duper clear and I can tell these people mean what they say, I will typically give a call to the restaurant. And if the person who answers the phone doesn't know about their ingredients, or they go and ask and come back and they're kind of wishy-washy with their answer, I know that's not the place I want to go eat, okay? And when we do this, it's not because we're psycho, it's because we want to feel good. What's wrong with that? And we're raising the bar of the industry, if you ask me, we really are. So do your due diligence about where you want to go out to eat, have a list of places that you like to frequent or you'd like to check out, and then have those available when you make plans with people. And I know sometimes it's not always going to work out in your favor, but I bet you a lot of times it will. So I hope this was helpful for you all. And remember, the top 5 things for you to start thinking about and incorporating is 1, going organic. Number 2 is removing at least 2 of those top 5 inflammatory foods or secondary inflammatory foods. The 3rd one is to plan the night before for the next day's food. The 4th one is to consume some stock and bone broth on a daily basis. And then the 5th one is do a little research for those fun times at the restaurant. Fertility Starter Kit, I give you a ton of tools in there, free tools to get you started and or refine your fertility diet, as well as a bunch of other bonuses on how to manage all forms of stress in your body, to identify them for yourself and get going so you can get closer to your baby. If you're ready to push the fast forward button on your fertility diet and getting closer to your baby, then please click on that qualifying call link down below so we can talk about how you can have your baby. And I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.